All right, this is Chase Gore with the Mustang Roundup Swimming and Diving Edition. And we're here live in the studio, brought to you by Daniel Montoya with Monument Realty. Our backdrop here is brought to you by Nix and Nax. And in this episode today, we're going to be talking Andrews Mustangs, girls and boys swimming and diving teams. And we've got some special guests in the studio, so let's go ahead and get right down to it. All right, Mustang Roundup Swimming and Diving Edition, and I actually have the head coach of the swimming and diving teams here in Andrews live in studio, and I'm going to let this gentleman introduce himself.
Good evening. I'm Mike Waldmann, the swim coach here in Andrews.
And Coach Waldmann, and a little fun tidbit is Coach Waldmann was here at the high school when I was in high school, and it's been many moons. Coach Waldmann, why don't you can you tell the audience how long that you have been in Andrews and what got you started in this?
All right. I got here about 35 years ago. I got started in the coaching back when I was going to school at Texas Tech. I tried to swim there, and it became painfully obvious I was not Division I material, and was given an opportunity just to hang around with the swim team by Ron Holohan, who was the head coach there. And I started off just as equipment manager, but him understanding that I wanted to know more about the sport, he started giving me more and more information and telling me the hows and the whys and the why nots of the training. And eventually he had me start writing workouts for our sprinters, and he turned me loose with them and opened up some great opportunities for me, to where I am now. Spent 2 years in Whiteface teaching swim lessons for the school district there, and then came here in 1989, I believe it was. So it's been a while.
We're very blessed and fortunate to have you here, and we appreciate you. So can you tell us a little bit about your staff that you have?
Well, I've got a staff of two, myself and then Coach Azam, Ethan Azam, who swam for me. He was in our first middle school class that we had several years ago when we started our middle school program. And he came up through the high school and qualified for state a couple of years. He actually finished all-state football and all-state swimming, which is not something you're going to see very often. But he has done a wonderful job through that, and then had an opportunity to bring him back several years later, and have enjoyed having his eyes on the deck also.
That's awesome. That is very awesome. So can you go ahead and tell us, you already kind of mentioned it about the middle school, so how does the program work as far as how do the kids get involved and get started in the swimming program?
We do have a middle school team that was started about 10 years ago. But even before that, we've got our Andrews Aquatic Club, which meets on Monday and Thursday evenings, where we've got kids really as young as 4 and 5. As long as they can swim the length of the pool unassisted, we're going to work with them and start teaching them the different strokes that they need to be competitive. We've got right now about 50 or 60 kids in that program. They've got their first meet this season coming up this weekend in Pecos. Oh, wow. So then they go from that, and we try to keep them involved in the sport in middle school. But we also want them to try other sports. Try to be versatile. Don't just do one sport. Try to do many different things, and I think that helps kids develop overall. But of course, we want them to come back and swim with us, and we've had many that have done that and have some great success from it.
Awesome. Coach, can you kind of tell us a little bit about how last season ended, and then and tell us how this year went?
Well, last season was a culmination of about 10 years of work, where we had to convince UIL to add a third division for swimming and diving. Previous to last year, it was just two divisions. There was a 6A, then a 5A and under, and we've had to compete against the 5As, and we've done pretty well with that. Having our own division now, 4A and under, we had an opportunity to step up and really enjoy some success. Last year went fantastic at the state meet, beating out Toulouse Midway with our boys. Our girls finished sixth and did an incredible job with that behind a Great Hearts Academy there in San Antonio. But on the boys' side, Toulouse Midway Anna Alaniz, and she was at school at Texas Tech. I knew her back when she was swam there. Very good coach, good friend of mine. They had some great swimmers, and we had some great swimmers. I think we'd be a great match, one-on-one. But we had some guys put together some incredible relays and individual events, set several state records, and we had a good time last year.
That's awesome. And so in this year, the boys finished number 2, correct?
Number 2, yes.
And the girls finished 4.
Yes, indeed.
Awesome. So tell me, how does the future now look going forward for the swimming and diving in Andrews?
I think the next several years we're going to be a formidable force to have to go up against at the 4A and under level, even at the 5A level. We've got some really good guys and gals that have been developing in middle school that started in club. They're ready to compete at that next level. So I look forward to seeing what they do the next several years.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you coming on the show, and wish we could have done it a little bit sooner, but we've been trying to put this together. Andrews appreciate you. They're very lucky to have you, and congratulations on your success, and keep it up. I appreciate you, Coach.
You bet. Appreciate it.
All right, we're back here live in studio with interview number 2, and we have one of the Mustang athletes here, and I'm going to let her introduce herself.
My name's Kaylee Brus. I've been swimming since I was around 6. Then I started swimming for Andrews when I was in 5th grade.
Oh, wow. So you grew up here?
No, we moved here whenever I was in 5th grade, but I'm from California.
A lot of people are unaware. I know swimmers, it's hard work.
Yes, a lot.
And it is one of the most strenuous deals. I know when we're up there, I was up there watching football, or we're up there doing workouts, and I see y'all guys up there in the slopes and doing things like that, and you guys work really hard.
Oh, yeah, really, really hard.
So you give me an idea of how you think the future in Andrews looks for the swimming and diving program.
Well, I know quite a few middle schoolers, and I think it's going to go pretty well because they're all, like a few of them, they got the encouragement that we need.
Okay. And is there anybody out there in the Mustang Nation that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Scarlett Whittle, she's been doing really good this year, I think.
Awesome. Well, Kaylee, we appreciate you coming on, and congratulations on a great season. We wish nothing but the best for you.
Thank you.
And appreciate you very much.
Thank you so much.
Ma'am. All right, we're back here at the Mustang Roundup Show, Swimming and Diving Edition, for our final interview, and with one of the Mustang athletes. And I'm going to go ahead and let the gentleman introduce himself.
How you doing? I'm Wyatt Bennett. I'm a senior, and I've been swimming for about 8 years now.
And Wyatt, we're glad that you come on the show and appreciate it. So about 8 years ago is when you started.
Yes, sir.
Now, when you got into this, did you ever imagine, going to state, breaking 2 Andrews records? Did you ever imagine that it would turn out that way?
Not at all. Well, when I first joined swimming, it was kind of forced on by my parents, but I'm glad they did encourage me to do something, because it did ultimately end up with having some success. And
I would imagine, and I'm pretty sure, in swimming, it's a lot of strenuous activity,
yes,
and a lot of discipline.
Oh yeah, it definitely takes discipline to show up to morning workouts and get through the workouts, because they can be pretty tough.
So, when y'all went to the state meet, can you kind of just describe the atmosphere of that?
It's pretty daunting when you first get there. You have a lot of weight on your shoulders. Like, wow, I'm at a state meet. I'm competing at a state meet. You're not just there, you're competing against the other good teams in the state. So it definitely puts into perspective the work you've been putting in throughout the whole season. So how do I phrase this? So you broke 2 school records. Can you go ahead and tell us what those are and describe those 2? Yes, sir. So first school record I broke was the a 100-yard freestyle. I broke that first at region and at the region meet, and then I broke it again at the state meet by a couple tenths of a second. And then the second event was the men's 100-yard breaststroke. I broke that one on finals day at state.
Oh, wow. It's impressive. It's a very impressive time. Because I've seen and this is just the work that y'all have done outside. I've seen y'all do. I can only imagine, what y'all do indoors. Very impressive, and I mean I've said it and told people this 100 times, but swimming, you have to be in fantastic. It's you got to be in great shape.
Oh yeah, it works everything from your toes to your head. Every muscle is being used.
Well, we want to congratulate you on a great career, on a great season this past season, and we look forward to seeing what y'all do into the future, what, after graduation, what life brings and things of that nature. This is a great time to be in Andrews, Texas, and with our facilities and everything, and it's just a really great time. We appreciate you coming on the show, and I hope nothing but the best for you, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. All right, folks, that's going to conclude this episode of the Mustang Roundup Swimming and Diving Edition. We appreciate Coach Waldmann coming on and the athletes that come with him here. It's a great time in Andrews, swimming and diving. Very impressive. We appreciate them very much. We hope that the program continues to grow. We hope more kids get to see this, get into the program, push it forward, take it to new heights where it's never been before. And always remember, folks, it's a great day to be a Mustang.